Hey everyone, it's Kelsey. This is Essentially Book. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. And today I'm going to talk about Orilium because it's happening in September. Orilium is my favorite readathon by far, and it's hosted by G of Book Roast. And it's basically like a magical school inspired readathon. You pick a class, you make a character, you have to pass the semester by reading various prompts. It happens twice a year, and then there's things you can do throughout the year too. And then you can take classes during September. So the two sessions, there's the spring and the summer equinox, or the spring and the fall equinox, and she gives you a syllabus based off what your course of study is. I'm a Feywild cartographer, and then you just read prompts to pass your classes. So this semester I am going to have to take 6 classes, and I need to get an O in elemental studies, animal studies, astronomy, alchemy, and demonology, and then I need to get a Q in inscription. And so for O's, there's just one prompt, but for Q, there's actually 2 prompts you have to read for to pass that class. So I'm gonna go gather my books, and then I am going to talk about what we're reading this month. All right. So I forgot one book upstairs, but so the first class is Elemental Studies, and that's a 5-star prediction. One of my book clubs picked this book, and I knew little about it. And it's like a National Book Award winner. Sounds like something right up my alley. It's called The Chosen by Shame Potok, and it's the spring of 1944, and 15-year-old Reuven Malter and Danny Saunders have lived 5 blocks apart all their lives, but they've never met, not until the day an accident at a softball game sparks an unlikely friendship. Soon these two boys, one expected to become a Hasidic Rebbe, the other at ease with secular America, are drawn into each other's world despite a father's strong opposition. Set against the backdrop of World War II and the creation of the State of Israel, The Chosen is a poignant novel about transformation and tradition, growing up and growing wise, and finding yourself, even if it might mean disappointing those you love. So I'm super excited about this book. I think because it is about the rise of Israel, I think I might try to start getting a little more into the 100-year history of Palestine. I think that's what it's called, to kind of read them comparatively, because yes, there's a genocide going on right now in Gaza. So this is one I'm very excited for. I've heard really good things about it, but I think it's important that I read it hand in hand with another book. So that's the first one. And then Animal Studies is a phoenix on the cover, and I had a book picked out, and then all of a sudden, as I was looking at my bookshelves, I found one that literally has phoenix in the word, or in the title, so maybe I should do that. I'm undecided which one I'll pick. Maybe I'll read both of them. So the one I had originally picked is The Poppy War, and I guess one of the covers has a phoenix on it, maybe, or there's a phoenix in the story. But I love R.F. Kuang. I've read Babel. My only holdup is I don't really want to start another series right now, so that could be the holdup on this. Or I could read The Phoenix Crown by Kate Quinn and Jeannie Chang, which would be historical fiction, and I love Kate Quinn, so this might be a better fit for me right now. I was very kindly sent this by the publisher, so just a thought. This is a story about 2 wronged women spanning from the chaos of the San Francisco earthquake to the glittering palaces of Versailles. It takes place in San Francisco overall, and I think these women fall under the spell of like a rich magnet for a railroad. So I don't know much about it, but I do love Kate Quinn. And then the next class I need to take is astronomy, and that is a book that's released in December, so it could be any December. I really need to read Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. So I think that it was a super easy pick because this came out last December and I need to finish this. And so this is the sequel to Divine Rivals, which I loved. This starts with 2 weeks have passed since Iris Winnow returned home bruised and heartbroken from the front, but the war is far from over. Roman is missing, and the city of Oath continues to dwell in a state of disbelief and ignorance. This is about like 2 gods that are warring, but it's set up like it's World War I. So very similar World War I setting, but instead of like the Axis and the Allies, it's 2 gods, but it is like the same war. I really liked it. It really sucked me in last year, so yeah. All right, the next book is Alchemy, a book that makes you emotional. So I've heard really good things about this, and I need to read a book of the month book, per usual. So Shark Heart by Emily Havoc. I know quite a few people who said this has made them cry, and it also sounds like a book right up my alley, but basically in this world, people have medical issues where they turn into animals. And this wife's husband turns into a great white shark. And so you're watching them grieve and like adjust as this happens. It will probably work for me because I do love like weird magical realism-ish stories. And I love family drama, all that. Okay, I'm sorry I'm like half cut out of the screen, but my tripod is not good. So you have to deal with it. All right, finally, for the last class I need to pass with an O is Demonology, and a person picks a book for you. So I texted my husband because I have a video idea for him to pick the books that I want to read, but I just have too much other stuff I want to read, so it's just not something I made a priority for. So his like books that he wants me to read are always Scythe and The Martian. I love Andy Weir, like I love Project Hail Mary. So I texted him, I'm like, okay, if you had to pick that I read Scythe or The Martian, which one would you pick? And he said Scythe without a doubt. No questions asked. So I'm gonna start a series in this video, even though I said I didn't want to with the Poppy War, but this is different. And I have a feeling I'm gonna binge this series once I start it. So if you are like me and live under a rock and have not read this, which I don't know anything about it, all I know is there's Grim Reapers that like reap the population because people can't die. Okay. All right, and then the final class I have to pass is Inscription, and I need a cue. So the first prompt I have to read is all letters from your first name. So my first name is Kelsey, Kelsi. This was a lot harder than I thought, but eventually, after looking at all the titles, I am going to read a love song for Ricky Wilde, which was really popular last year. I haven't read anything by Tia Williams, and I got this from NetGalley, so it would get a backlist NetGalley off my shelf. So I'm pretty excited for this read. And then the next one is Color Wheel for a color title. I will put the little thing right here that will show you what color I got. And the color is red. My two options are, on my Kindle I have the Red Tent by I think Anita Diamond maybe. And this is like a biblical retelling. I don't know if I'm feeling that. So my other option, again with the series, is Red Rising, which is this a phoenix on the cover too? It might be. That's funny. Okay, so I might start this. I've heard that this book is like not as good as the rest of the books in the series, but I do really want to read this series. Yeah, I think I'm gonna start it. But that is my TBR for this month for Orilium, and this will be my September TBR. I am actually pretty excited about this stack because there is quite the diversity. And yes, I do have another book club book, The Wonder, which I'm gonna go grab. So The Wonder is the other book club book I have this month by Emma Donoghue, and she's the author of Room. I've never read anything by her, but I do have Learned by the Heart over here by her. This is a young English nurse trained by Florence Nightingale. She arrives into a village where an 11-year-old who is said to have eaten nothing for 4 months, and she's just there supposed to watch this girl. So I've heard very like conflicted things on this book, but it's an old book of the month. I think this is my oldest that I have, 2016 currently, that I need to get off my shelf, so perfect timing. Okay, sorry, it is present day Kelsey. I was editing the video and realized I really didn't film an outro for this, so yeah. There's Gus. So I'm really excited for Orilium. I'm really excited to read for September, and I think I have a pretty good stack. It's about what I would read in a month anyways, and so I'm pretty pumped. But thank you so much for being around and following my channel. I know I haven't been getting consistent videos up, just the season of life we're in right now, and so I'm sorry about that. I've been posting a ton of TBRs lately with no follow-up, so those are coming. Like my catch-up-a-thon book of the month vlog is coming. But again, thank you so much for sticking around, giving me grace, hanging out. Yeah. All right, guys, until the next video, bye.